Now, the next incident is, however, the most important that I want to talk about, and that is this. This is submarine U-110, and you could see here on the right is a Royal Navy destroyer, HMS Bulldog. The U-110 is actually commanded by our good old friend Fritz Julius Lemp, and he was part of the HX. Why this is important is during this the U-110's ordeal. This was its second patrol. Uh, it was engaged by the destroyers, and during that battle, which was this was a Type 9 sub U-boat, I might add, it it was damaged, and the destroyer HMS Bulldogs and Broadway would continue to follow it. Right, and this was shortly after that previous battle, and this was in May 1941. Now, Broadway tried to ram it but missed. HMS Broadway. Uh, then realizing the ship was probably not going to last, Fritz Julius Lem, and thinking it was going to sink, he gives the order to abandon ship. And it's actually a kind of sad thing because as the crew went escaped from the conning tower of the submarine, they were actually gunned down by gunners from the two British destroyers, and many drowned as well. And this is actually because the British had believed that the Germans had planned to use a deck gun, so that's why they opened fire, because they actually thought that these guys are still in active combat. When they realized that they were not going in, they actually stopped. Now, as these guys are swimming towards the British destroyers to be picked up, them realize that U-110 is not sinking. It's pretty critical that anytime you scuttle your ship, you ensure all your secret material is destroyed, or the enemy cannot get their hands to it. And he swam back to try to go and initiate that destruction of the submarine from within. He never made it. We don't know how. Maybe like one German sailor testified that the British sailors shot him in from the water, because this is definitely an individual that was moving against the flow of everyone else, right? Everyone is swimming towards the British destroyers, he's moving away. So it's a bit sus. Or another thing is that he could have just been completely exhausted by now and his body just gave up. The Atlantic is pretty chilling even in May, and regardless, he doesn't make it. And 15 men of U-110 were killed and 32 were captured. Then HMS Bulldog leads a boarding party onto the submarine, because it's a great chance for them to pick up some intel, and they get a gold mine of what they were able to find. They found an intact set of rotors and a machine of the Enigma. This is something like the guys at Bletchley Park would have loved so much. And this was actually retrieved by William Stewart Pollock, who was a radio operator in the Royal Navy on loan to Bulldog. And so he retrieved this intact Enigma machine and the code books, because he thought they looked a bit out of place to be on a normal radio room. And they were initially actually towing back U-110 to Britain, as a prize. But then en route, they sunk it. So that the German high command, which believed U-110 to be sunk, believed it was sunk. So they never realized that an intact Enigma machine was captured. And this would really be a huge, you can't even imagine what kind of boost it would have been to, Turing and all those at Bletchley Park.